everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a quick workout on the mat with no props needed, just you and your mat, obviously. So we're mostly going to focus on our core and our lower body, a little bit of arms thrown in there. So let's get started. So we're going to get warmed up standing, which I love to do. So come on up. You're going to stand about hip width apart. Maybe roll your shoulders back a couple times. Take a few deep breaths, kind of settle in. So now I just want you to step one foot forward, hip width apart, so you're kind of in this staggered stance. So your back heel is up, your weight is more on your front foot. Okay, now just take a few little rocks of rocking to your front foot and to your back foot. So when I rock back, my front toes will come off of the floor. And then when I rock forward, my heel will come up. Yeah, you can have your hands on your hips or down, whatever feels better. Just start kind of waking up your feet, your ankles, getting the weight transferring. All right, so now when you rock the weight to the back foot, I want you to bend that back knee, lean even more, and reach your arms up on a diagonal, and then return the weight forward. Yeah, so just spending a little more time on the back foot. Go as deeply as you'd like. You'll probably feel a nice little hamstring stretch. You can think about exhaling on the way down and then inhale as you stand. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Hips pretty square. Watching the alignment on that bottom knee. Now pause in that stretch and then just hang your arms down. If you're able to touch the floor, great. If that's too far, then just place your hands on your thighs and sit back for an even deeper stretch. And we're just gonna hold here for a breath or two. If you're touching the floor, it's okay if your back rounds. You can even pull on that foot if you wanna get a little more calf stretch. And then go ahead and stand yourself up. And we'll do that on the other side. So, stepping your opposite foot forward, get to that nice big staggered stance, and then just start nice and easy shifting your weight. Yeah, you don't have to be too strict about it. Yeah, just really feel that difference of front to back. Be fully on either foot. And then when you're ready, bend the back knee, lift those toes even higher, and then replace. Yeah, it's almost like a chair pose in yoga. The arms match that diagonal line. Try to drop both sits bones back behind that bottom heel. Now, get there and stay in your stretch, and we're just going to hold here a little longer. Place the hands either on your thighs, a little lower down your legs, or even on the floor and let your head hang. You can grab onto that foot, give a little extra pull if you'd like. Good, and then just slowly bring yourself back upright. Very good. All right, so now have the length of your mat out in front of you. We're going to start rolling down to the floor. So nod your chin, let your head, your shoulders, everything just trickle down over the legs. You can soften the knees at the bottom and then take 4 big bear crawl steps out to a plank. Now, if for you getting down to your knees feels better, then you do that, okay? And then we're going to take those same 4 bear crawls back to our feet. Knees bend as much as you need, and then roll back up tall. Yeah, so again, think of this just more as a warm-up. We're getting our body moving. Just another weight transfer, right? So if we were transferring our weight from foot to foot, now we're just transferring our weight from feet to hands, okay? Let's do that one more time. This time, I want you to stay down there in your plank, and we're all gonna drop our knees to the ground, actually. So the hip, you want pretty well open, okay? So this angle is nice and long. Now from here, all I'm gonna do is straighten one leg so that it comes off the mat. Squeeze your thigh, and then put the knee down. Do the other side. So I get a little hip extension. I get some work for those quad muscles. Yes, and the obliques and the abdominals are staying nice and strong even though they're in this long position. All right, if it's uncomfortable, you don't have to straighten the knee all the way. Last one. Now pick both your knees up and crawl back to your feet. Whew. Very nice. All right, it's not easy to get ourselves on and off the floor, so it's a good thing to practice. Let's do this again. crawl out. Now this time, if you're able, stay with your knees off the mat in your plank. Repeat what we did already if that works better for you. Now, instead of stretching one knee at a time, we're going to bend one knee at a time. So trying not to rotate the hips, the shoulders, the spine, just a pure bend and stretch of that single hip and knee. And you're not even putting weight on it really. It's just like a little kiss on the floor and back. Do that 2 more times. And then pike the hips up, crawl back, hang your head heavy, and then roll up tall. Very nice. All right, next version, rolling back through, crawl out. We've got this down pretty well by now. Find your plank. Now we're gonna tap and lift both knees at the same time. So same mechanics, both go together. Now we don't have to worry so much about twisting. Yeah, when both go together, that's not much of an issue. 2 more. Now last one, leave your knees down. So we're in this open hip, kind of plank prep position. Now I want you to bend your elbows in 3 little micro bends. So go 1/3 of the way, 2/3 of the way, as far down as you can, and then push back to straight. Do that again. So going in 3 phases, inhale, 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 and then 1 big exhale to push up. Let's do that 2 more times. Down, 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 and push away. Last one, your best push-up of today, whatever that looks like. Now just sit back on your heels here for a second. All right, so that was kind of warming up our push-up action. Now push back to your hands and we're gonna go down in 1 whole piece. So we're gonna go right away to that full depth and then right back up. If you need to stay in those little segments, that is totally fine. Inhale and exhale, just progressing if you're feeling ready. Now, once your arms get to straight, hold, lift your knees off the floor, place them back down, and do another push-up. 1, 2, squeeze the quads, pick the knees up, 3, and 4. A few more times. Now you remember all those different variations we did of picking our knees up and down. You do the one that works best for you. You can do just one knee. Yes, so you scale this back to your knees. Last one. All right, now place your knees down, sit back again. All right, last version of these. If you're feeling up to it, when your arms get straight, your knees are going to be straight at that same time. So just a little bit more challenging, turning this into 2 movements instead of 4, okay? So let's give it a try. Bend the elbows. As I push away from the floor, my knees are already lifting. Whew, that's tricky. So it's somewhere between the challenge of a knees down push-up and a knees up push-up. We're doing both. Down, coordination's a little harder, but strength-wise, we get the support at the bottom. 3 more. Down and up. 2. Last one. And then come down and stretch back. Oh, nothing like some push-ups to get us warm. Okay, now let's come down to our elbows. So you can roll your wrists a little if they're feeling it. All right, so now coming off the hands, drop to your forearms. You want to feel like you're pressing into the mat and spreading your shoulder blades away from your spine. Okay, so on your knees, hip width apart, draw the ribs up, hover 1 knee off of the floor. Try not to roll too much to the opposite side. Now you're just going to press that thigh up and back and then hover it back down. Okay, so leaving the knee bent, getting into those hip extensor muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings. Good. Now as we move the leg, we don't want to compromise this nice position we've got in our spine and our ribs, so we keep drawing up. All right, now push up and hold. Leave the thigh exactly where it is and just stretch the knee to match. Bend it and come down. So I lift, I kick, I bend, and I lower. Good. Notice if all your weight is slumping over that supporting knee. Yeah. Try to leave a little extra weight on the opposite elbow. Okay. Now kick up and hold your leg long and just tap it to the floor and lift it. Tap and lift. Now this is a hip movement, not a back movement, hopefully. 3, puff the ribs up and back towards the ceiling. Last one, and then rest the knee down. Whew. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we're going to repeat that same series, but going out to the side. Okay, so let's do the same leg. So kind of tire that one up all in a row. So same leg, hover it off the mat, but now you're going to swing it. Oh, one more thing I forgot. Put your hand, so same hand as the leg that you're moving is going to go on the floor, just to help us rotate a little bit better. Okay, so for me, I've got my right leg and my right hand. So here we go. We're going to open to the side like a fire hydrant and come back down. So now my body is facing the way my leg is lifting. So it's going to give us a little bit more range of motion. Okay. So now that bottom side of the ribs is trying to draw away from the floor. All right, now hold the thigh where it is, kick the leg straight to match, bend it, and then lower. So try to leave that thigh exactly where it is in space. Yes, and everyone's hip mobility is different. So however high you can get that thigh is perfect. Now, leave it straight, tap, and lift with as little weight touching onto the floor as you can for 3, 2, 1, and then come on down. Oh, amazing. Okay, let's do that on the other leg. I'm going to turn around. You don't have to, but I'm going to turn just so you can see my working leg. All right, so elbows down, feel the scapula spread apart from each other, hover the knee, and then start your presses. So I personally like to flex my foot on these. I think it helps me feel a little more connected to the back of the leg, but you do what feels best for you. Now lift and hold, keep it where it is. Stretch the knee, bend, and lower. Yeah, really feel the muscles doing this action. So don't feel like you're just kind of flopping the leg in space. Be really intentional. Wow, that was bad. Intentional about how you're moving that leg. Okay, now pause with it straight. Tap, lift, tap, lift. If you can't quite touch the floor without losing your alignment, make it smaller. 2, 1, and then come on down. Okay, so let's come back down. Get it over with. All right, so now put your same hand as the working leg on the mat. So you're slightly rotated. And now we're going to swing that leg up and down. Good. So drawing that thigh bone away from center. Now pause it at the top. Stretch it. Bend it. Drop it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The less everything else moves, the better off we'll be. 2 more. Now last one. Kick it up there and stay. Tap it lightly and reach. Tap, reach. 3 more. 2, 1, and then come on down. Oh. Okay, come down onto the floor. Set your feet flat, hip width apart, arms long by your sides. Start in your neutral spine. As you exhale, tuck your tail under, and let's go into some hip rolls. Yeah, so find your bridge at the top. Inhale and hold that position. And then exhale, stretch the spine long to come back down. Okay, let's just do that 2 more times. So just warming up this articulation, feeling the hip bones level. That's going to be important in a second as we roll up and down. Okay, do 1 more time. All right, now same mechanics, except I'm going to cross one ankle over knee. So for me, I'm going to do my right leg. You can do the same if you'd like. So we're in this figure 4 position. Push the thigh away from you. You might feel a little stretch. Now, exhale, do that same scooping and rolling off of the mat. Try to fan that knee open as you lift. Hip bones are level. Hold it, and then exhale to roll back down. Good. So this is super tricky. So just that single glute is doing the work to lift both sides of your hips and then lower down. Yeah, so it's a bit of a stretch for the top hip, double work for that bottom leg. All right, do that one last time, getting that articulation on the way up and on the way down. All right, now grab on the back side of your thigh with this same side hand. Other hand goes behind your head. Now, I'm going to feel forces into my hand with the knee. So I'm using this glute to push, okay? Now keep that pushing sensation with your knee, and you're going to use your arm to help bring your body off the mat. Rotate your opposite elbow to that knee, and then lay back down. Do that again. So you can either maintain your neutral or you can go more imprinted, whatever helps you. Yes. So I want you to not be afraid of using this arm. I want you to see how much you can feel that glute working, the arm working, and your abdominals. So it's not one or the other. All of them are working in tandem. And then lower down. Now, when I get into that flex and rotate, my bottom foot is going to push into my leg and then lower down. So the foot is going to hover off the mat, the knee pushes into ankle, and then lower down. So the knee is going to come a lot closer to the elbow and then down. So there's lots of energy wherever a body part is touching. So where the ankle and the knee is, where the hand and the knee is, lots of pressure. Now curl up and stay and just take some little tiny pulses, opening and closing for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come down. All right, other side. So 1 foot down, cross the opposite ankle over. Start with our hip rolls here. So scoop the tail, roll to the top, think heavy ribs, high hips, and then return. Okay, 3 more times, feeling like you're rolling centrally through the spine, even though those legs are not even. 2 more. Holding it at the top. All right, last one. Really feel that bottom glute driving up and then down. All right, same side hand to the back of the thigh, other hand to the head. Press the knee open into the hand and then pull your body up and across and then lower down. Over and then down. So good. Really feeling the feedback. Any place where you've got your hand or your knee or your ankle touching. All right, now the bottom foot is going to hover off the mat. The knee drives the shape closer, and then I lower down. Exhale. Yes, you should feel like you're moving through wet cement. Yeah, it takes effort to go forward, effort to come down. Last 2. Now last 1, curl up and stay, and now just pulse in those 2 directions, almost like jaws, opening a little, closing a little. Open, close, get that back shoulder blade off the floor. 3, 2, 1, and then come on down. Whew. Amazing. All right, now bring your legs up off the mat, imprint your spine, cross one ankle over your knee. Now we're just going to do some little rollover preps for our abdominals, okay? So palms are down, imprint. You're just going to tip your thighs away from you a little bit. Now when your thighs come back towards you, try to get a little pelvic curl off of the mat. Now this does not have to be huge. We're not trying to go up and balance on our neck or on our shoulders, just getting a little bit of a rock of the tail off the mat. And the thighs going forward helps give us a little momentum. Last 3, last 2. Keep that low back so close to the mat. And then switch legs. So cross which ankle is on top, switch them, and then we go. Open that hip, close it. Now my thighs never touch my chest, so I keep that activity behind the legs. Push into the hands for 3, for 2, and last 1. Oh, so nice. All right, last one. Pick an ankle to be on top, doesn't matter. Now we're gonna rock up, switch which ankle is on top, and then roll down. So every time we are inverted, we're gonna switch feet. Yeah, just a little challenge for fun. So drop the thighs, curl up and switch before you come down. Lift and switch, and then come down. So it might cause you to have to hold there for an extra second longer, which is good. Gives our brain a little task to focus on so we don't think so much about the ab work. 5, 4, try to sustain it for a second. 3, 2, and then last one. Oh my goodness. Okay. Reach your arms and legs away from each other and just take a big long stretch. Like somebody's playing tug of war, pulling you in 2 directions. Okay. All right. Roll over. Bring yourself up. Okay, we're going to take a little hip mobility stretch to finish up. Okay, so come on to all fours. Kick one leg out to the side. Point your toes forward. Get as much of the sole of the foot down, including your pinky toe, as you can. Now, all we're going to do here is you're going to sit back towards your heel. I'm going to lift my toes off the mat, externally rotate my leg, and then come up and place the toes down. Okay, this should feel really good on your inner thigh, this whole hip and down the line of the leg. Yes, do that a few more times. I'll turn to the side so you can see a little better. So my toes are down, I roll them back, and you just go as far towards your heel as you are comfortable with, okay? The further forward this foot starts, the more initial stretch on that hamstring. So you decide where you want to be. All right, now place the foot down, reach one arm up, the same one as the leg that's straight, twist and just open your chest, and then thread the needle. Get as much of that shoulder on the mat as you can. 2 more times. Inhale, lift and twist, feel long. That arm can dip behind you a little bit, and then feed it under. Okay, one last time. Big stretch for the front of the body. And then for between the shoulder blades on the back. All right. Okay, other side. So kick your other leg out. Toes point forward. Externally rotate. Sit back towards your heel. And then return. Yeah, you don't have to have your biggest stretch on the first one. Just kind of ease yourself into it. 2 more. Feel that thigh spinning outwards in the socket. Toes to the ceiling. Last one. All right, now same arm as leg that's out to the side. Float and stretch. Try to touch the wall behind you. And then soften the supporting arm. Get as much of the shoulder down as you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Last time, try to reach a little further on each one. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that workout for our core, our legs, our arms. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any suggestions for future videos. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and share this with a friend if you know of somebody who would enjoy it. All right, so thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.